Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoGaDaSh Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. This is a very special show tonight, and I'm joining you all live from the mid-Atlantic. So let you just know, this show almost didn't happen. I came this close to cancelling it because I've got no internet. I am up in the roof on the 11th floor of the ship, having to rely on Elon Musk for his Starlink to bring you this show tonight. So if I cut out and disappear, Sheila, Lady G, and David will carry on. We will ad-lib. I will introduce my crowd. So, of course, here we have, or is it this way, Sheila? Is it this way? Which way? Okay, I'll do both just in case. I've got Sheila over here to my side. Thank you so much. I have Lady G down under, and diagonally we have David from Tarot by the Bay. So welcome, David. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Sure, thank you. So folks, just give us a little rundown of how your week's been. We're going to dive into the show, lots of questions. We're going to keep it simple and a bit of freestyle as well. So Sheila, how has your week been? Just give us a little précis, and then I'll ask Lady G and then David. Oh.
No sound from you, Sheila.
No. Oh, bless. Okay. Lady G, how's your week been?
Well, I was in the Cosmic Gypsy, and I ran up to all the way up to Washington, and I was in your neck of the woods, David, a couple of days ago, but now I'm back in New Mexico.
Oh, no kidding. When were you in the Bay Area?
I was in there Sunday and Monday. I had to stop for the very important dim sum and some oyakodonburi.
Good job. My week's been okay. Work's been slow, but just really, really stressed out with everything that's going on in Los Angeles and around the country. I'm an empath, and maybe I'm not really good at grounding, but because this week is wrecking me. And
wow.
I skipped a reading and been playing my computer game, just sort of self-medicating, just trying not to pay too much attention to it. But we'll see how things go. Saturday ought to be a very interesting day.
Wow, fascinating. So, guys, as you know, I've been traveling. I'm currently in the Mediterranean right now on something called Nomad Cruise, which I do from time to time, where basically people who have sort of like laptop careers get together, network, etc. So I've been away. I mean, I was in Malta today, wonderful, and I was in Sicily, and tomorrow we'll be in Athens. So I've been out of the loop. I have the tiniest amount. So Lady G and David, I'm going to be relying on the two of you to kind of bring me up to speed. I've just noticed even in the questions how intense this is, and I'm sure this is very difficult for the both of you because, of course, you are American citizens. You are facing this along with our audiences, which, of course, have been greatly impacted by the events that are taking place. So I understand that as we discuss these subjects, it may feel emotional, it might feel a bit raw, but we'll just see. We'll just get through it because we are in extraordinary times. David, as you probably know, I am an astrologer and Neo-Vedic astrologer, and America is going through its first Pluto return. Among many other things, we had this huge alignment that happened on the 29th of March 2025, which is happening in America's fourth house. And Lady G, I was talking about this will be happening in the homeland and all of these different things. So of America. So excuse me if there is any kind of background noise. We've got some of the ship staff, crew staff that are basically clearing down. You may hear the odd bump and crash because I'm on a boat. But let's dive in. Let's go straight in. Hopefully, Sheila will be able to join us. We've got already 1,176
Sheila,
joining us live. Sorry, Lady G.
Sheila just texted me. She said,
Oh,
"Tell
she's back.
she's back." Yes.
Okay, let's just see.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sound.
I'm a dork. You know what I did? That button right there, I pushed it on accident.
Right. Okay. So Sheila,
Yeah.
I was just saying to Lady G and David, of course, these are really testing times for America right now. David has been kind of struggling with the energies that have been at play, which are, of course, incredibly intense. So we're going to dive in with the first question. This one isn't about the rights of the protests and everything, but we're going to get into that. This is coming from Cheryl Renee, and she says, "Light and love to Hoagie David and the delicious duo of damsels." So we know Cheryl Renee comes in with wonderful phrases. She says, so I reduced the question down. So she says she lives 20 minutes from Seattle. So, of course, David, is that your neck of the woods? Are you up in the Oregon?
I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. Seattle's probably about a 12-hour car ride or 2-hour plane ride from where I live.
I was up in Seattle.
Maybe not.
I was up in Seattle a few days ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. So she's asking, we were getting quite a lot of questions about earthquakes. So this is another one again. So she says, she lives 20 minutes from the Seattle. Is a 7-ish on the Richter scale quake likely between June 20th and June 25th? So let's just pull some cards on that. In fact, I think because some of the questions that are coming up in the show are so meaty, let's do a one-card pull on that. So, David, you may not be familiar with this format, but we shuffle our cards, we pull one card, we reveal it after 3, and then we combine the reading together to see. Yeah. So, okay. Because you're the newbie, we have to look after you. Next week when we have you back, your rider wheels will be off. Yeah. Exactly. The ladies are so familiar with this. Yeah. All right. So, again, the question: is there some kind of earthquake action in the northwest of America, Seattle area, potentially 20th to the 25th of June? One card pull. All right, one moment. Can't. Hopefully not, of course, and then we'll dive into the rest of the questions. So you ready with your cards? Yeah. All right, so after 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we'll have David go last. So Sheila, if you wouldn't mind going first, then Lady G, then David.
Well, mine first, drama queen, causing chaos. I don't know if it's going to be a 7, but it does look extremely likely that the Earth is in motion and ready to cause an earthquake. So that's what my card says, causing chaos.
Wow. Lady G, what card do you have?
Well, I don't know, because mine says that things are kind of at a crossroad, and they're kind of blocked. Things are blocked at the moment. So let's hope that it waits a little bit of time.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And David, how do you interpret your card in regards to earthquakes?
I got the 10 of Wands. Wands are fire energy. And the Pacific Ring of Fire does a lot of earth activities, and earthquakes can certainly be triggered by Ring of Fire activity. I'm not really getting a feel that we're going to have an earthquake during that time frame, but the other part I got from this is being prepared. You always have to stay on top of your preparations in case something happens, because you get no warning when the earthquake happens. So the best you can do is just always expect it's going to happen and be prepared and be ready for it when it does.
Right. Excellent. And here, I'm adjusting for my camera here, so I cannot believe that I'm doing a live show from the middle of the Mediterranean off my phone with barely any internet, and I'm having to rely on Elon Musk to bring you this show, but such is life, huh? So if we look here, we've got the King of Cups, and of course this is the element of water. And when we've been asked this question before, I think we were asked it a couple of weeks ago, weren't we, ladies? And I said, maybe there could be something to do with something offshore. So if there is something, I think it's more likely to happen offshore. I hope it's not a tsunami or anything like that. However, the King of Cups is quite a benevolent card. So could it be there's something that happens offshore, and maybe it's like in the 3s and the 4s, and maybe there's some big waves and it just doesn't come up to a big deal? Or could this just be the emotions around it? Maybe it's a more benevolent energy there. So I'm not feeling like it's something immediate. I certainly hope not. But I sense if it does, it could be something offshore. Anything to add to that, folks?
I would say
something about, sorry, David.
No, yeah, good.
I thought I heard something about there's an underwater volcano over by Oregon somewhere that may be erupting.
Really?
I know that that's in the Cascadia Fault region, and the really, really big earthquakes come from that fault line. We have the San Andreas Fault that runs up and down California, and that could be good for a 6 or a 7. But if you get something that's like a 9 or higher, that's going to be the Cascadia. So if there is a big earthquake that happens, and you can have small earthquakes on that fault line too, but that's the one that can really let loose. That's the one that would give you the 500-foot tsunami wave that would wipe out like the town of Eureka, because it's a low coastal village. It's that type of thing. Now, that's probably something that happens every 10,000, 20,000 years or something along those lines. But yeah, the big ones can uncork there.
So I'm hoping, folks, because obviously I don't want my card to be symbolizing some kind of gigantic, tsunami, particularly as I'm on a boat speaking to you guys right now. So that's quite close to home. Or it could be that maybe because I am on a boat, that could be picking that up. However, that would suggest, wouldn't it? That would be congruent with precisely what David has shared. So that's the sense I'm getting. If there is something, I'm getting the sense it's happening in the water. I just hope it's benign. So maybe folks, try not to panic, don't be scared, but maybe just have a little prepare bag, something like that, ready to go. And I think that's good advice, isn't it? Without worrying people too much. Would we agree? Yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But thanks so much. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much for that share and that detail there. Oh, it's so fascinating. Look at this panel we've got here together. So wise, isn't it? Everyone here is so wise. All right, shall we move on to the next question? Yep, ready? All right. So this is coming from Denise. So now I don't know who this person is. I'll rely on you guys to fill me in. We'll do a full card pull on this so you get a chance to stretch your legs on this question. So Denise says, Charlie Angus gave a powerful speech supporting California and requesting Taco, i.e. Trump, who I also call Duck Larange, not attend the G7 summit in Canada next week. If he attends, how will he be welcomed by the other G7 members? Full card pull, yeah? And we'll go Sheila, Lady G, David, yeah? I want your full talents, folks, your full talents. I mean, can you believe what we're going through here? Can you believe this is where we're at? It's just wow. I'm going to try and scroll here. So Deb Marsh. Oh. Oh, that's a bit weird. Let me just see if that's going to work. Still on stage. So Deb Marsh says, woohoo, hi David, and hello in the chat. How do I? Because I'm doing this on my phone. This is a little bit different, actually. Oh, there we are. It's a little bit different. Patricia is in. James Spear is here. Here, someone said this. Let me show on stage. It's saying, personally, Core Smith says, personally, even as an older woman, I'm not giving up my country. My dad and mum's brothers in World War II didn't literally go through hell for me to back down. Wow. So fighting talk there from that that contributor. Who's ready to go? Sheila, you ready to go?
Yes, my cards come out funny. So,
all right, go with it, honey.
One first up is I got the Six of Pentacles, right? That charity, maybe they'll accept him and stuff like that. But truthfully, I got what they all think about him. They think charity, but he's greedy. So he has greedy. He'll take advantage if he goes. So they are very aware of his taking advantage. And then I got travel if he does go, but heartbreak. Like, don't go. We don't want you there. It's all about, the pain and suffering and all of that you are providing. And then I got beached. Like, they want to beach him. Like, this is usually my Mar-a-Lago. So beach, like, stay there, stay home. And then my last one is the Five of Wands, the fighting at the meeting. Like, bring it on. We'll fight with you. We'll argue with you. So they're not going to hold back if he goes. They're going to give it to him. And again, my cards, all I can do is just show you this word again. He needs life insurance.
Wow. Fascinating. All right. Thanks so much for that reading, Sheila. Lady G, how do you interpret your cards?
Well, first thing out, of course, is my card for Trumpenstein going there, the Agent Orange, and they're just going to push through. It's not easy to push through, and they're looking at all of the losses that he's facing. Energy coming into it is, of course, the choices he's making, the path he's walking, and they're wanting to get to a better place mentally with the whole thing. And it's just like, oy vey, we have to deal with this guy again, the concern with it. So the day of it, they're going to be, again, arguments, struggling with what he's trying to birth and really wanting to just walk away from this fool. They don't want to deal with him because he wants to try to play the great emperor. They want justice for democracy. And potential outcome, things are up in the air with what's being given out and how it's affecting the world's situation. And when it comes to the prosperity, the swords are out, swords of truth, and it's just going to force him to, they just don't want to deal with this guy. It's just, go crawl back in your hole or slither around. Sorry, Dave.
No worries.
Bring the spice, David. How do you interpret your cards?
Okay. So I was asking, how will Trump show up? And that's not the answer I got. They answered a different question. They just answered about the energy of the announcement. They look at Trump as the Page of Cups. He's not serious. He doesn't understand what they're on about. And they've basically called him out, saying, you're not welcome here. And it's to make him feel awkward, uncomfortable. Do you really want to go someplace where you're not welcome? Underneath, I've got the Chariot. So this G7 is going forward. If Trump shows up or doesn't show up, they're going forward. The reason for going forward is they're very concerned and serious-minded about money, kitchen table issues, that sort of thing. They have plans that they want to do, and they need to advance those. The last thing they need is this Yahoo coming in here and charging everybody up and getting everybody all riled up. I didn't get the Five of Wands, but that would be like he would be there to stir the shit. And they just realize, hey, look, we've got to get stuff done. We have to get it done quickly. And this guy will just slow us down and prevent progress. So that's why they don't want him there, because he's a speed bump.
Wow. fascinating cards, guys, and thanks so much for that. All right. What cards do I have? I think this is about how the G7 are feeling about Trump, which seems to be echoing all of your cards. If we look here, we get the Four of Pentacles, which is talking about holding on, trying to preserve something, trying not to lose something. So I think this is the G7. Kind of their approach is that they're trying to keep their integrity, even though they're being challenged very strongly by Trump. They want to try and hold them to their values. But this is also a card where you're worried about your foundations, something being taken away. So it looks like to me the G7 are going to try and preserve their foundations. Let's remember as well, Trump has imposed a whole pile, a slew of tariffs and stuff like that, especially against Europe as well, which is part of the G7. Canada, of course, is part of the G7. In fact, all the G7 have been affected. So I think they're looking to maintain their integrity. Here we've got the Nine of Wands. They are feeling embattled. Yeah, they feel embattled in the presence of Trump, but they're incredibly determined. This is a card of shrewdness, determination. They'll smile, yeah, as best they can, but inwardly, they are prepared for the fight and they're not going to give in. So many of their economies have been affected, and obviously they're thinking about the financial well-being of their economies and their citizens as well. Imagine how awkward it will be when Trump, has to face Canada and Japan and, all these people. If we look here, I think they've done their homework. Yeah, they've been doing their homework. They've got the Hermit here. They have been having secret conversations, assignations with each other, describing battle tactics. Yeah, I'm sure they're describing battle tactics here. Secret emails, memos, briefings in terms of how to deal with Duck Orange. Yeah, but if we look here, I think they're prepared to walk away. I think they are prepared to come out with some big potential statements and be like, we're not taking your stuff. And then if we look here, we get the Lovers cards. And this card I actually associate with trade, goods, services, import, export. So I think the G7 countries are going to be taking the opportunity as well to strengthen their relationships with each other as well, in spite of what Trump may try to do to disturb things. So it looks like they're pretty determined. Anything to add to that, but no, good. All right. Oh, we're moving on at a great pace. Okay, so
Hogarth, we just got a jump with you. You were doing your cards, and then all of a sudden, this shows up. So I'm just letting you know that we didn't really get to hear the last part.
Oh, okay. So I think, what did I say? I said here, sorry. So they got the Lovers card. He got the Lovers card, which is about, I associate this card with imports, exports, trade, business, partnerships. So I think the G7 are going to be focusing on their trade with each other, their partnerships with each other there, and this is consequential, but they are prepared to walk away. That means they're prepared to walk away from Trump as his administration. So this is actually very high stakes, folks. Very high stakes. Yeah.
There we go. And I have an audio trick if it works. When Hogarth is talking, because of his audio being kind of crunchy, if everybody mutes, it usually takes down a little bit of the crunchiness, if that helps. It's just a trick that I've learned because I'm the queen of audio problems, let me tell you. So when Hogarth is reading, we can just all mute, and I'm sure it'll help with him.
Yeah, and apologies again, folks, because I'm on this ship in the middle of the Mediterranean, doing this off my phone. Apologies if it's a little bit crunchy, but I'm hearing you guys all good.
If I didn't know better, he's almost boasting. I am on a ship in the Mediterranean.
Oh, really?
That's a great job if you can get it. Better be careful. I hear Melania might be on the prowl for her new man. If she finds out you're on a boat in the Mediterranean, she might come slithering over to you.
Hogarth, I have a suggestion. Just say no.
No. Call Nancy Reagan.
Well, you never know. There could be a little. What is it? Where's she from again? Slovenia, isn't it? Slovenia or Slovakia? Yes. I can't remember.
Oh no, I called it Slovakia once, and the audience took me to task. It's Slovenia.
It's Slovenia, isn't it? It's Slovenia. No, it's not meant as opposed at all. I'm literally doing a high wire act here, folks, because I'm just like, can I keep the show going with all of this kind of stuff? But thank you.
It's
I appreciate the humor.
Actually, Hogarth, is better than some other ones we've had when you're just in your home space. So we're good.
You're right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You're absolutely right. All right. Are we ready for question number 3? Yeah. All right. This is coming from Nick Minks. And it's so funny. I've kind of made it concise, but it was pretty concise anyway. So she said, Elon Musk, has crawled back into bed with Trump. Who has blackmailed who? So full card pull. I want your full talents on display. Who has blackmailed who? And give those extra insights to our audience. My God. The bromance is, oh, look who's at the bottom of the deck. This is my card for Elon. Yeah, the magician. Wow.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. Let's. Ugh. All right.
I mean, what a hot mess. It's just so ridiculous, isn't it? I'm relying on you guys to give me the updates on what has happened since I've been away. Elon Musk. Trump. Who blackmailed who? Who hasn't blackmailed who? My God. Ooh. Oh, wow.
I said the same thing, Hogarth. I'm like, what?
My God. It's the same old, but who's ready to go first? Sheila, Lady G, or David? We can do it out in different order.
I'm ready to go.
All right, David, go for it. We'll go the other way around.
Right. So I did a little bit of a challenge reading. The main challenge, Ace of Pentacles, it's money. And underneath it all is Knight of Wands, the plan or the beatdown stick that could happen. For Trump, I have him with the 10 of Cups. You know, he's not happy. He's not happy. Very, very unhappy man. Why? Because secrets got revealed. And now he's going to get back. He's going to take that Knight of Wand energy and do everything he can to make Elon's life miserable. And if he can bankrupt him, that's what he would do. Because if you think of the way Trump thinks, money is everything. So if Elon, who's this wealthiest man, doesn't have any money, and Trump has some money, then Trump is up here and Elon's down here in the one metric that matters most to Trump, which is wealth. Elon's looking at it. Remember that comment he made to the congressmen, the senators, that Trump's only going to be around for 2 years until he's the lame duck president. I'm going to be around for longer than that. If Elon doesn't have money, he's not going to be longer. So Elon's now got to play a much longer game, because if he's going to tell Congress he's around for a long time, then he needs to make sure he's around for a long time. And if that means making nice and kissing butt, that's what you have to do, because you're stuck. Your own word said you're going to be around forever. And if you don't make nice, then Trump is going to come down, rain on your parade, and you're going to have nothing. Trump will take you. Basically, he's like a drowning man. He will drown you with him. And if he gets the last gulp of air, he wins. But if he takes you down with him, he wins in his mind too.
Wow. Fascinating, fascinating. And we have 2,617 of you with us live right now. Thank you so much for joining us here live. And please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share to help support our work we do here. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, rapidly, what was coming down was, of course, about the money, because the energy coming into it was feeling constrained now when it comes to the contracts, his marriage, his, his closeness with father there. And then we had, of course, the problems now with control. He wants to, again, the dark government, the drama control. The challenge is ending contracts. That got him right there, ending the contracts. So the potential outcome is the message that he's putting out to try to bridge this alliance again, and rapidly running to the White House. So he's running back to Trump, because Trump can, just get rid of so many of the government contracts, and all the stuff that he did with Doge to get rid of investigations into him could all come back. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sheila, what cards do you have on this Elon and Duck Orange situation?
Well, I asked my cards, how strong was it from the get-go? And I got the delusion and missing emotions, missing a whole lot of context. Their relationship really wasn't good from the get-go. I got the Two of Cups. They were working together, but there was so much jealousy and so much drama between them. Their emotions are ran around a 3 and a 4 and maybe a high schooler, so they're having some emotional problems connecting. I also got the high emotions like a couple, like a married couple, and that makes a lot of sense. But here's the kicker: is it's not going to last long. The illusion of the relationship from the get-go, it wasn't strong. It's not there to withhold anything. I do got the fast movement, and the reason why is because of drugs and poison. So whatever they are trying to place a little Band-Aid on, and I'm talking tiny Band-Aid on for all of that, it's like tick-tock before it gets trashed again. So they're not stable. They've never been stable. So Trump is a revenge type of guy. Elon is a kind of guy who does things only transactional. Trump is going to stop doing transactions with him, emotionally, mentally, or connecting. It's not going to last long. We're going to have another breakup. It's like that long breakup. That's what we're going to experience with these two.
Wow, fascinating. And I find it so interesting that, again, we're getting these cards that are mirroring each other. I think I'm getting the perspective from Elon here, from Elon. I did a read on this relationship between these two malignant narcissists, and there's a saying the Chinese have, which is that two tigers cannot share the same mountain. Yeah, it's very, very true. Two tigers cannot share the same mountain. So you've got two malignant narcissists really can't share the same stage to a certain extent. And one of the things, again, there's this thing with the contracts, the power that Trump has. Again, Trump always has his fall guy. Always. He always has his Trump card. He is the executive, not Elon. So if we look here, first card out of the pack, we have the Five of Cups. Of course, this is their spat. This is the break and the handbag throwing and everything that happened with the breakup of their bromance. Yeah, spilt cups on the floor. But you'll notice here, we need to remember with the Five of Cups, 3 cups are spilt, but 2 are left standing. Yeah. So they're not completely severed their ties, but why? If we look here, I think Elon was feeling betrayed, yeah? Because, of course, Trump was just saying, well, he's not that mentally stable. And to be honest, he was getting tiring. Yeah. Also, as well, I think this is Elon feeling betrayed because there wasn't that contingency in there for electric cars. Do you remember with the tariffs and stuff? E-vehicles were kind of getting slapped, and of course that's quite important, isn't it, to old Elon? So there was a sense of betrayal, but I think Trump felt betrayal as well because Elon wasn't holding the line, and he was starting to criticize his big beautiful bill. So you got these egos, yeah, here. However, they are looking at their marriage of convenience, yeah? They have made a pact on a certain level. These two men have made a pact. It's a pact between two devils, yeah, between two malignant narcissists, but there is an element of mutual survival here. So they're also looking at the deals. They're looking at the pacts they've made with each other in some kind of way. If we look here, I think Elon is feeling relieved. Yeah, we have the celebration card here, the Three of Cups. None of us are celebrating, so this must be talking about Elon's kind of emotional relief in trying to kind of basically get back in with Daddy. And really, what is it about? If we look here, Ace of Pentacles, it's about the money. It's about the money. Trump is the only person that has the power to delete all of Elon's contracts, just as all of you were alluding to before. With the sign of his executive order, all of those contracts can be gone, and those investigations can be reanimated. Trump always knew that, but because Elon is not that emotionally literate in that sense, it takes him a while, and he's had to back down because without Trump, without Daddy, he is broke. Yeah. Anything to add to that, folks?
Yeah, I just want to mention that he can't just eliminate his contracts by an executive order. That has to go. That has to go through the Senate. It has to go through the House and then through the Senate, and then Trump then has to sign it. So it can't be done just like that. It's just that when we're dealing with Trump and the House and all of that, when he threatens something, they usually get on board. But he can't just use his pen and do that. So I just wanted to put that out there that before everybody comes says, yeah.
Thank you. But I mean, and thanks for that clarification. But I think we've also seen the power of Trump's rhetoric, because even when he just criticized Elon, you know that the share price of Tesla took a big tank, didn't it, temporarily?
Yeah,
so he may have to jump through some hoops, but just the threat alone, I think, is quite difficult, isn't it? Anything else to add to that, contribute to that? David, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I do. A couple of things. When Elon Musk came to the United States, he came in under a student visa, and documentation seems to show that he never went to school. He went to Stanford for like a day, and then he started a business, which then he later got U.S. citizenship, but the whole thing was based on a student visa that he violated by day one. And historically, they can take away your citizenship and just basically undo that whole process, which means they can undo his citizenship and then deport him out of the country.
Yeah.
Additionally, when he was threatening not to use the Dragon capsule, and you've got Starlink that Russia's been using for their war efforts, it is possible that the U.S. military could deem that Musk's space program is a national security risk, and then the U.S. government will take it over.
Yeah.
You still have Tesla, who's maybe looking for a new CEO, and then all of a sudden, he doesn't have his SpaceX program. He's out at Tesla. He's deported from the country. Twitter is hemorrhaging. Everything that he's built has just been taken away or destroyed right in front of him. And it can all be done by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Lady G, did you want to add something else to that as well?
Nope, I'm ready to go forward.
Sure. Fascinating. Okay, so we're going at a fair clip here. So another Then now this is getting more into what is actually kind of happening right now, it unfolding in LA. Bear in mind, folks, I've been out of the news for about a week, so I've heard little things here and there, but not much. And my internet's been very sketchy. So this is coming from Tamara. She says, "Hi, Hoagie and the Wisdom crew. I'd like to know if the tacos action, Trump's action with National Guard, Marines, and ICE, will it be the push California needs for us to leave the Union?" Ooh, whopper. Yeah, whopper. Full card pull. Oh, Edie. And let me just put here. Oh, how do I share that? Oh, 1 minute.
You go to the starred section, and it should be on the bottom there. I think they auto-star the.
Yeah, it's saying show on stage. Thank you so much for your kind donation. Oh gosh, there's a few here, and I'm trying to do this on my phone, so it's really, really tricky. Show on stage. Thank you so much, Edie. Oh my gosh, thank you, much appreciated, and thank you to everyone who's been donating as well. Thank you.
You want a full card? Hogarth, did you full? Okay.
I'm sorry, how many cards?
Yes, please. Yeah, full card pull. Let's go for it.
Okay.
We got time. So, will this be the push that California? So, Tamara says, "I'd like to know if the tacos action with National Guard, Marines, and ICE, will it be the push California needs for us to leave the Union?" And I'll give you a little insight, astrological insight on that when it gets to my bit. Oh, what times? Can you believe that we're even asking questions like this? Isn't it remarkable?
You know what? It happened during his first administration, and then Texas made noise about it during Biden, so it happens.
That's fair enough.
It didn't happen much before that. Ever since Trump has been in politics, it's happened.
Wow. But this time it feels more, there's more gravitas to it, isn't it? It feels a bit more, ooh. Wow. Okay, who's ready to go first? Yeah? Okay, David, go for it.
Okay, quick editorial. And the comments have also shown that California really can't secede from the Union. First off, the U.S. won't let them leave because they're the fourth largest economy. You're not going to let the primary wage earner leave the country. That's just not going to happen. The federal government will send troops over, remove the California government, and then have elections. We had a civil war the last time states wanted to leave the Union. So it just won't happen. They won't let us leave. And even if we did, all the troops and all the military equipment belongs to the U.S. government. So it's not like you have a military to fight off when the U.S. government comes a-calling. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something, but it's not. It's really a pipe dream. You can do it by withdrawing, but all the states have to vote to support it. So there's a legal way to do it, but it still won't happen. Foundation reading. We've got the Empress. California provides so much for many of the red states. California, Gavin Newsom has talked about. California provides $80 billion. For all the taxes we pay into the federal government, we get $80 billion less back. So it's like we donate $80 billion to the U.S. government, and that helps fund programs for red states. So in some ways, California knows it provides for everybody, and that provision gives them special privileges, special insights. We can say and do and get away with things because we contribute more than we take back to a large degree. New York does, as well as do some other states. But underneath it all, central is that people are tired of being vilified, and Trump's threatening to withhold funding to our universities, funding to the state. Fine, you know what? Then we won't pay our taxes. And we know you can't say no to that because we give you $80 billion. So it would be a difficult thing to do to secede. It would be nigh impossible. So likely what will end up happening is that, we'll beat our chest, stick it out there, threaten, posture, but eventually everything will die back down and the whole secession energy will die down with it. But it won't go away fully. Do not doubt for a second that California might start taking steps to make itself a more independent state than it already is.
Fascinating. Okay, Lady G, what are your cards showing?
Well, the light on the subject, it's about control and the threatening of a new action. But the energy coming into it is about, holding on. They've got the funds, and they're sharing, and a very strong sense of the justice and a strong element. So wanting to go forward to somewhere better, they're looking at the craziness and again holding on to their own power because they want to have a victory. And they've got the truth, and the truth is going to lay them out, and they're going to temper things as well as they can because of what's being given out. So they're figuring out the next move when it comes to dealing with the White House nonsense. And they know to leave would be a tower moment and a big burden and a huge manipulation. So, of course, they're not going to leave. They're not going to secede from the union.
Oh, fascinating. Okay, Sheila, what do you have? What do your cards say?
Well, I'm in agreement. California is not going to succeed. I mean, that's just a whole nother level of. We would have to go farther down in this country for that to even be considered and happen. But we do have Mar-a-Lago and the retaliation. So whatever happens between Gavin Newsom, it's like Trump needs a distraction from all of his stuff. Who does he have beef with? Who is he going to take that out on? Gavin Newsom. It's like Trump knows that LA is known for riots. LA is known for fighting back. So where's he going to go agitate? He's going to go find the best place. And it was retaliation. It is always retaliation. And I have this star in the magnet. So what is going on right now is that whatever happened in California, that MAGA versus Democrats kind of a thing, it kind of feels like it drew California even closer. That's kind of what they do in California. You agitate them, they get closer together. And that kind of feels like what happened was that Newsom is now a star. Their magnet kind of gravitated towards him. Now, I have the world in coming together. They have the world behind them. So when they have the support of the world behind them, the king of swords, Trump took a really big gamble on that. And he's going to lose that gamble. He's not going to come out on top because what we got here, and this is something went down. Somebody went mute, and all of a sudden the humming went. Okay. What is going to happen at the end of the thing is California is going to come together, and they're going to throw some magic. They're going to throw some surprises Trump's way that he's not going to be able to get out of. Probably legal. Probably that. So that's all I got.
Wow. Okay. Well, there seems to be a unity amongst the three of you about potentially California not leaving the union. But as you know, I tend to get quietic cards when I do these reads, and of course, most of the time when I'm reading, of course, I'm on the other side of the Atlantic. So again, I just say what I see. I feel like there might be more to it. and I'll explain why in a minute. And by the way, we have over 3,000. What do we do? We have 3,047 of you joining us right now. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for putting up with any of the little kind of technical difficulties that we've been having, but I think it's not been too bad so far, considering the circumstances. Yeah. All right, let's go for it. So when we look here, I get the Strength card. What this is saying to me is I think this is talking about the strength of California, not only in terms of its economics. I think this is talking about the strength of California overall. Really, California as a state, as we know, if it were just an economy on its own, it would be the 4th largest economy in the world. So we can see immense strength here. And Gavin Newsom knows this. And I think when California makes this threat, even though it is not supposed to happen, I don't think we've actually seen California really apply its strength in this way. It has a lot of clout, and it should be listened to. Yeah, this might not be an idle threat. If we look here, supporting this strength card, we have the 7 of Pentacles. Now, you guys who are regular viewers will know I refer to this card as the card of ROI, return on investment. Gavin Newsom understands the wealth and value, but not just Gavin Newsom, Silicon Valley, all of the people that are big contributors to the California economy, or the taxpayers in California. I'm sure, David, you would also understand this as well. Just like what you were saying, California is the breadbasket. One of the biggest contributors to the red states via their taxes. So they know their worth. California really knows its worth, and they're looking at the harvest and they're thinking like, do we keep sharing our harvest out, or do we keep more of this for ourselves? Yeah, you can see him pondering that. If we look here, we get the Page of Pentacles. Pages, of course, are all about messaging. Yeah, messaging. But the Page in Pentacles can literally talk about messages around money. So I have a feeling if this situation continues with the violence and what we see happening, particularly Trump imposing his will, shall we say, on California in terms of how to potentially California should deal with these riots, I think there may be some financial news that may come out of Gavin Newsom's mouth, or some other kind of financially impactful leaders. They're going to start speaking in terms of finance, economy, money. Yeah, just in case we weren't sure. Look at this. We now get the Knight of Pentacles. So do you see here, 3 of the middle cards are to do with Pentacles, money, finance. Again, this is the slow and loyal and steady Knight. But again, I think this is also talking about, I think one of the things that California may do as leverage, if they don't leave the union first, then maybe they may slow down the money. Yeah? They may slow it down. They may retard how much they give. Do you see? Because this Knight does not like to be rushed. He doesn't rush. So California might be like, okay, you want to come play with us? We got this strength. We know what we've invested. We're going to be making some announcements soon. And you know what? We may just slow down our contribution to you guys and see how you manage. If those things are not heeded, then look at this. Yeah, get the 8 of Cups, which is the card of leaving, walking away. So I appreciate you guys' optimism. Of course, you guys are Americans, and I will defer to your greater experience as Americans and understanding this. But as you know, I say what I see. I don't think California I don't think this is bluffing. I think they're going to do a few things, and then they may actually go for it if they don't get what they want. But what are your thoughts on that, folks?
I think it might be Trump who walks away.
Taco?
Taco walks away. I think Gavin Newsom can give him a huge punch with some power behind it. Yeah, I think that it's Trump that has to walk away from this whole fight.
And I think Sheila's right on that one. Belle of the Ranch actually had a discussion on this one. So if I'm stealing some of her ideas, these aren't always novel ideas that I've thought up of. I'll state sources.
Thank you. That's good.
California can certainly say, well, we're not going to give you our money. And then it's going to go to the courts and it's going to drag out because our court systems are so dreadfully slow. But it's the same exact tactic Trump would use. And so California would use it on that, and we wouldn't pay the money, and there'd be this whole thing. California would eventually lose, and they're going to have to pay the money, but they will make it painful for all those involved. The other thing that I hadn't thought of that she did bring up was this would cause the bond market to be very upset because it's going to impact the United States credit rating. If you're not collecting revenue, you can't pay your bills, and you're a bigger risk. So the bond market might rumble just like it did when the tariffs were first put in place and Trump chickened out. If the bond market starts getting really upset, then Trump will say, okay, fine, I back off. We're not going to defund your universities. Newsom can say, that's lovely. We'll go ahead and pay our bills, and then everything's back to normal. But it's kind of like it's a Willie measuring contest at this point. And California's got the advantage. Trump only has a catheter in his pants.
Sure. And Lady G, please add some extra to that. Having heard what Sheila said and David has said and what I've said, what else would you like to add on that? Some more insights, because it's quite an important question.
Well, I don't know. California is definitely way ahead of any of the red states with anything. And again, I just think that Newsom is quite smart, and he's got it all over Trump, So just watch and wait and see what Newsom does.
Okay. I think we've got. Thanks so much, guys. That was really, really insightful stuff. So we've got time for one more question, and this is a biggie of the biggies. If we're quick, we might be able to get in a one card pull. There's a question about FIFA and the World Cup. But M Dizzy Lizzy says, quite a cool name that. M Dizzy Lizzy says, will Trump call in troops to Portland, Oregon this weekend for the No King event, which I assume is a protest? Yeah, protest.
Yeah.
We know MAGA's imposters / disruptors tried to arrest protesters during the Black Lives Matter protest in 2020. So, but basically, will Trump basically call in troops to this No Kings event? Is he going to interfere? Yeah. Let's do a one card pull on that. Actually, let's do a one card pull and see what we all get together.
Well, Hogarth, I do want to add that it's not just going to be in Portland; it's going to be all over the country. So, which one does it fit? Oh, yeah, this is United States wide. Each and every. I mean, I'm going to the one in Denver, and everybody is staying away from the capital, and so each and every state is doing one. So, I don't know how to ask the question.
In that case, then, so let's ask about the energy. What energy will Trump bring to these global protests? Is he going to try and use violence to suppress those protests? And it could be any which state. So one card pull, and we know the one card is going to be very clarifying. So let's have a look. Will Trump try and bring violence to these protests? 1 second. All right. After 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. So Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
That says preservation, right? Because my dyslexia is kicking in. I want to say
no, it's perversion.
It's perversion.
It's perversion.
Thank you. Because I want to say prosecution. My dyslexia sees the word as prosecution. Like, what does it really say? Perversion. Okay. So what he's going to do with all of these is he's just going to skew it to what he always does. Look at the Democrats. They're against the military because we're having a parade and they're doing this and that. So it's just going to be a perversion. I don't think he can physically do which state and which one would he pick? So that's
good. Yeah, makes sense. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, he's definitely not going to like it because we have the Queen of Swords, the fighter for truth, and she doesn't back down. So I think the protests are going to be very, very strong this week. And again, he's not going to like it, but he doesn't have the resources to kowtow all of them.
Wow, so the numbers game works. And David, how do you interpret your card?
Six of Swords, going from troubled waters to calmer shores. I think he would love to agitate and send groups of people. I don't think he's, between the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, he doesn't, and the alt-right neo-Nazis, he doesn't have the organization to get them out there to troublemaker. That doesn't mean that you won't have instigators at these various ones trying to cause problems. And maybe in a few key cities, I think Portland could be one of them. He might, coordinate with some folks to get some agitators out there to smash some windows and cause problems like we saw in the BLM. But generally speaking, he's more focused on his special military parade, aka the U.S. Army's 250th parade. And so he's going to be focusing on that. And he's already put out warnings like if anybody protests at the U.S. military parade, they'll meet with overwhelming force. Pound your chest and show people how tough you are.
Yeah.
He's such a man.
Gosh, extraordinary, isn't it? So I'm looking at my card here, and I'm feeling like this is quite layered. This card. So again, this card has come back in, which is of course the Eight of Cups, which can be the card of turning away, leaving. I think there is an element of, I think if the protests can overwhelm Trump, because you can't, do you know what I mean? It's like when the cicadas come out of their 7-year cycle or whatever it is. They're not the best flyers, but they just overwhelm everyone with sheer numbers. So my kind of positive I would take for this is that, guys, come out in your hordes and just absolutely overwhelm the system, because they can't arrest everyone. And if they do that, then Trump will probably look at that and probably go, well, it's my birthday soon, and I'm sure he's looking forward to trying to roll those tanks through Washington and stuff like that. So I think the aim here is to overwhelm, and I would encourage as well people not to turn away. If you can kind of protest, there is safety in numbers. This isn't the time to turn away. This is the time to lean in. The more you lean in, the more it's likely that Trump taco will turn away. So I would say turn up in force, and it will just potentially overwhelm him and his plans. And he would just go, and just throw his usual spiel from the sides. And then, because really he's looking forward to his military parade. Anything to add to that, folks, before we go? The time has gone.
I do have some warnings on that. Number one, stay away from Washington, D.C. Okay? Don't watch the parade at any point in time to give him the lowest numbers. And also order as many tacos, so many that they have to report how many tacos were eaten in the country that day. That's what I read. And somebody's asking for the barb on that.
And Lady G, anything to add to that in terms of advice for our audience? We've had tacos turning out in force. What extra seasoning would you like to add to that?
Yeah, let's just all pray that they have a massive downpour in DC. And so I think that would be great, or the people that go to the parade turn their back on it, just go there and turn their back and not watch any of it.
I've been watching the weather on that. Yeah, as of last night, it was 70% chance of rain on a Saturday with thunderstorms. I would also say, if you have the ability to get out and protest, do so. If you can't get out and protest, support however you can, even if it's flying a U.S. flag upside down. You want to show the courts and the news media and such where the American people stand on this. And the more people out there, the more they know your opinion. But even more importantly, for the Hogarths of the world who aren't protesting in the United States and they can't vote in here, for them to see us come out and push back on the worst behaviors of the US government gives them hope that we, the people of the United States, haven't lost our path and that we're not on board with this.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And thanks so much for saying that. And I think that's a really good point to close on the show, because, you know, the world really is watching, and we are deeply, deeply concerned, you know, for all its ups and downs and faults and imperfections. You know, America is an important country in the world. It is an important economy in the world. There's so many things that are interconnected. And as the world, we are worried, you know, we are paying attention, you know, all of this stuff of when we're trying to enter the United States and people getting detained, it's affecting the tourism, it's affecting the business. You know, we're worried. We feel like America has lost its mind. Now, we know that, you know, there are a lot of people that did not vote for this. There's also a lot of people that regretted their vote. But there's also a lot of us in the world who have not had the opportunity to vote, but we are nonetheless affected by what is happening. And we've not had any say over this whatsoever. So I think, just like you were saying, David, if the American people can really keep rising up, it will reassure us, looking from the outside world, it will give us hope that there is still that burning fire there within Americans to want to do the right thing. So I would just echo what everyone said. Protest safely, of course. Don't, you know, put yourself in harm's way. But it will give us a lot of encouragement to see a lot of pushback, you know, from the US citizens, which I'm sure is there. So I wish that parade, or not the parade, the protest success. I hope there is no violence, but I also as well really hope that the Americans really come out en masse. So can you believe it, folks? The time has gone already. We were at 3,140 something joining us live. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Of course, you know, Sheila, thank you so much. Lady G, thank you so much. And David, our new guest here, thank you so much.
We miss you, Lena. We miss you, Lena.
Say again?
We miss you, Lena.
Yes, of course. Lena, of course, will be back in a few weeks. But David, can we expect you next week? Are you free next week? I think you would be able to commit to 2 shows, another show. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your contribution. Much appreciated. So, guys, we will leave it there for now. I think we got through it okay off my mobile. I've now got to do the post-production thing. But thank you so much for joining us. And that was fascinating, guys. Thanks so much for your expertise and your talents and all that stuff. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. You should see me in Athens, hopefully on solid ground with solid internet, but we got through it. So thanks for all the encouragement, and I'm so glad I didn't have to cancel. All right. Bye-bye now for everyone, and see you all soon. All right. Bye-bye for now.
Take care, bro.
Cheers. Bye-bye.